entrees or buy one, get one free. Desserts too, including that chocolate cake. Buy one, get one free. De-stress with an old-fashioned, a Manhattan. They've got 20 great bourbons, over 100 fine wines, and those 8 elegant dining rooms with real wood-burning fireplaces. Fantastic. Saturday night, your second prime rib dinner is free, only at the Fox and Hounds. The magnificent Sunday brunch is all you can eat. Kids and grandkids under 3 eat for free. Wherever you live, it's worth the drive through the Kettle Moraine for your free dinner right near Holy Hill. Call and reserve your free dinner this weekend. FoxandHoundsRestaurant.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is here for you, bringing you the latest headlines with John McCure.
He said people would be fired if they didn't submit this email. Is that going to happen?
And diving into the details with Julia Fellow.
And Patel and Gabbard are telling their workers, their government workers, don't reply to this email.
Tune in to Wisconsin's afternoon news, where your day's story unfolds. Weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. Only here on WTMJ.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Trusted, relevant, locally owned, locally programmed. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ Milwaukee.
It's 11 o'clock. I'm Greg Matzek. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. It's Friday, February 28th. Your top story, high lead levels means no school for now.
I'm Adam Roberts in for Jessica Ty, talking security in D.C.
Wind advisory is in effect until 6 o'clock tonight for all southeastern Wisconsin. Very windy today. Mild temperatures, but wind gusts up to 45 miles an hour, 53 your high. Blustery tonight, low of 17 degrees. We cool off for the weekend with highs in the 30s. 49 degrees and mostly cloudy in Milwaukee. At 11:01 from the WTMJ breaking newsroom, a Milwaukee public school faces temporary closure over high lead levels.
Milwaukee Public Schools and Milwaukee Health Department sent letters to parents of Trowbridge Street School that high levels of lead dust were found in the building. To help with the deep cleaning process, MPS has asked that students move temporarily to the Wisconsin Conservatory of Lifelong Learning starting next Monday. A full press briefing will be given Friday to address what levels of lead were found at the schools. This is the first time since the MPS lead investigations have begun that students have been asked to temporarily leave their school. Sean Brinda, WTMJ News.
The Milwaukee Health Department also just released lead level reports for Maryland Montessori School, finding high levels of lead dust on the ground floor of that building.
He's got a rifle, I got a shotgun. Be careful.
Sound from newly released Milwaukee police body cam footage from an officer shooting February 12th near 27th and Wisconsin. In that video, you hear Officer Daniel Gonzalez preparing his weapon before exiting the vehicle, demanding 24-year-old Isaiah Stott drop his weapon. Officer Gonzalez was shot in the chest and leg during the exchange. Stott was shot and killed by Gonzalez's partner. Officer Gonzalez is now recovering at home.
Eric Hovde's lawsuit against the Democratic Political Action Committee and several media companies is dismissed. The former Republican Senate candidate sued for defamation over ads that said he, quote, rigged the system to become a, quote, millionaire California banker. A Brown County judge ruled the ads constitute mere expressions of opinion. Hovde lost the 2024 election bid against Senator Tammy Baldwin by less than 1 percentage point.
Just moments ago, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky arriving at the White House ahead of a pivotal meeting today with him and President Trump. During that visit, Ukraine is expected to sign a landmark economic agreement with the U.S. that would bind the two countries economically for years. Zelensky insists on firm security guarantees to safeguard his country during their ongoing war with Russia. U.S. officials argue American investments in Ukraine will inherently enhance its security.
Well, phase one of the tentative ceasefire between Israel and Hamas is set to end this weekend. ABC News foreign correspondent Tom Sophie Burridge.
What's supposed to happen tomorrow is that phase one of the ceasefire agreement, an initial 6-week ceasefire, it was supposed to be the release of 33 hostages living and dead. It ended up being 38 hostages living and dead, including 2 living Americans over the last 6 weeks. That first phase is supposed to end. What Israel wants to happen now, instead of ending that first phase, it effectively wants to prolong phase one Lebanon and negotiate the further release of hostages in return for more Palestinian prisoners being held in Israeli jails.
Egypt says officials from Israel, Qatar, and the U.S. have started intensive discussions on Phase 2, which would include the return of all remaining living hostages held in Gaza and the withdrawal of Israeli troops.
Time now for news about your money, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. All arrows pointing into the positive for the big three this morning. The Dow's up 180 points at 43,419. The Nasdaq sitting at 18,609. That's up 66 points. And the S&P 500 is 20 points in the green at 5,881. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
When will Yelly return to the field? Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 11:04.
You're right, and I'll agree. It does sound too good to be true. But offering you affordable treatment that alleviates pain, which really does work, that we've seen in most cases insurance paid for in full, is a definite reality. It's pain relief, really. And these are FDA-approved treatments. They're safe and proven to reduce inflammation and alleviate pain. Yeah, you'll have to get a couple of shots, and I know that can scare people. But the needle is extremely small. And after giving shots like this hundreds of thousands of times, you'll see we make it very easy. You're going to feel the relief that our powerful pain relief agents give you. They're pain relief drugs that solve pain problems. And the way I feel is that Rejuvenex should be the first stop for anyone living with pain in shoulders, hips, elbows, and knees. At $65 per joint, per injection, it's probably the most affordable pain relief option available that actually works.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your pain. Rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex Google reviews will tell you more.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde for Excel Custom Decks. I at least like to think I'm an expert when it comes to football, but I know Excel are truly experts when it comes to the art of deck building. With the finest materials and products combined with their superior craftsmanship, they'll deliver exceptional quality and value on everything from backyard decks to pergolas and outdoor kitchens. If you can dream it, Rob and his family can build it. Family-owned Excel Custom Decks delivers decking excellence by design. Visit excelcustomdecks.com to learn more.
Heiser's Snowy Roads Sweetheart Prices sales event is happening now. Remaining 2024 models are priced to go. Looking for a vehicle that can handle our wintry roads? Get yourself a reliable all-wheel drive that can handle anything winter throws at you. With heated seats to top safety features and our exclusive Safe and Sound program, which includes roadside assistance for life, our vehicles are built to keep you cozy with peace of mind, even when the roads get slick. But hurry, our 2024 models are almost gone. So visit Heiser.com today.
See dealer for complete details.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Cactus League play rolls on for the Brewers this afternoon against the Giants in Scottsdale. Hear the game on 94.5 ESPN beginning at 2 o'clock. Brewers outfielder Christian Yelich not going to play today, but he could see the field soon.
The road to recovery for Christian Yelich is nearly complete. Pat Murphy revealed to reporters that Yelich could be making his Cactus League debut as the calendar turns to March. General Manager Matt Arnold expressed his belief in Christian Yelich's return.
We're all around him every day and know how much he cares, know how much he was trying. It just wasn't there for him. And I saw him working hard. Going from that point there to fast forward to today where he's in a live BP and feels great, looks great. I mean, I can't even tell you how great that feels. It really does. I'm really excited for Christian this year.
From American Family Fields of Phoenix, I'm Dominic Cotroneo.
Our next broadcast scheduled for Saturday afternoon at 2 o'clock. College basketball this weekend. 21st ranked Marquette visits Georgetown for a 7 o'clock tip Saturday night. A win for the Milwaukee Panthers on Saturday against Detroit Mercy could mean the number 2 seed in next week's Horizon League tournament. And 11th ranked Wisconsin visits 8th ranked Michigan State on Sunday afternoon. Badger Sports Updates, sponsored by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more.
Let's take a look at the roads. Your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. Just got a new incident popping up on the map right now, 94 West. Past the Moreland Road ramp, got the right shoulder blocked due to a vehicle that has broken down there. Already got a squad on scene. Also have a broken down vehicle on the ramp near the zoo heading onto 4145 north as you turn out of 94. Everywhere else is looking good this hour. No other incidents or delays.
Wind advisory is in effect until 6 o'clock tonight for all of southeastern Wisconsin. Temperatures topping out at 53, wind gusts topping out about 45 miles an hour. Chilly tonight and blustery, a low of just 17. Saturday, we struggle to get to 30 under sunny skies. Sunday's high 36. Chance of a wintry mix on Monday with a high of 42. It's 49 and cloudy in Milwaukee at 11:09.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzek, and in for Jessica Ty, it's Adam Roberts.
All right, you made it. It's Friday. Welcome in. It's Wisconsin's Midday News. Jessica taking a couple of days off. She'll be back on Tuesday. Adam Roberts is in for Jessica. I'm in for myself. Gina producing the program. And we have reached the end of the week. People tell me today it felt like it was a Thursday. It definitely feels like a Friday to me. I don't know what it is. Maybe not so many cars on the road coming in. I think that has something to do with it.
It is typical for a Friday, though. And by the way, hope you held on to your hat. When I came in early this morning, we weren't in the wind advisory, but it was still pretty strong at 4:45 in the morning. I can only imagine what it's like now. Looks like about sustained around 25 miles an hour. That's pretty breezy.
Not a great day to walk your ferret. Some big stories that we're following here this morning as we hit 11:10.
And now it's time for 3 Big Things on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Number one, veterans are on the chopping block as President Trump works to whittle down the number of federal government employees. ABC News senior political correspondent Rachel Scott explains.
Veterans make up 3% of the federal workforce. Overnight, fired workers showing up at this town hall in Virginia, telling their Democratic representative they're concerned about the cuts. One veteran fired from his job at the Department of Agriculture, speaking with our Jay O'Brien.
Be able to go back to the veterans of our country and tell them that they were not performing well in a job when we've defended our country for many, many years was directly, for lack of a better word, a slap in the face.
The president was asked if he's tracking how many veterans have been fired so far.
So we're watching that very carefully, and we hope it's going to be as small a number as possible. But we are having great success in slimming down our government.
Trump administration on Thursday fired hundreds of employees at the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. More layoffs are possible today. A federal judge on Thursday found that the mass firings of probationary employees were likely unlawful.
Number 2, the findings continue to get worse for Milwaukee Public Schools when it comes to lead. Another school with high levels of the poisonous material being found at Trowbridge School. This is in the Bayview neighborhood. And it's bad enough that the health department has ordered the school to close. That begins on Monday. Letters sent out to parents. The department says high levels of lead dust were found in the building, similar to what we've seen at other schools recently in the city. During that cleaning process, students will be moved to the Wisconsin Conservatory of Lifelong Learning, which is located in downtown Milwaukee. A full press briefing will be given later today around 12:30, and I'd be curious to know why they've decided to move the students to this facility that's 5 miles away. There's Fernwood Elementary, which is just down the road from Trowbridge, and we also have virtual learning. The system's there from the pandemic, so I'd be curious to know why they decided to move to this particular school. Now, also, we don't know to the extent of what lead dust is in the school, but you have to figure it has to be worse than we're at Golden Mile. They had 16 times permissible amounts. We'll find out later today.
I just don't understand what has taken so long to discover this. I mean, these buildings, any MPS building built before 1978 was likely built using lead paint. And there might be layer upon layer, so it starts chipping away and it's discovered. I get that, but this is not the end of this story. I feel like they're just uncovering school by school what they ultimately will realize is a tremendous issue. Well, happy National Spending Blackout Day for those who celebrate. Organized by the People's Union USA, that's the thing. A 24-hour spending blackout is underway on this final day of February in 2025. Here's the deal. If you participate, you will avoid spending money on gas, fast food, and at major retailers such as Amazon, Walmart, and Best Buy. If something is deemed necessary, like food or medicine, emergency supplies, go ahead and get that, but please try and use cash. There's more. The group is also organizing a 40-day boycott of Target beginning March 5th, which is Ash Wednesday, and the beginning of the Lenten season. It's called the Target Fast.
The Target Fast?
Yeah.
That's a new term.
Can you stay away from Target for 40 days?
Yeah, I think so.
I have.
Mm-hmm.
I
don't think that's not too difficult.
Target seems like it's in Gina's wheelhouse. Gina, you seem perturbed by this a little bit.
A little bit. I mean, I love Target, but I'll find an alternative. Don't worry.
Okay.
It's only for one day. I think you'll be fine.
No, it's 40. It's 40 for Target. You doing the Target fast?
That's right, yes.
I guess it is one day today, but then also when the Lenten season begins on March 5th, that's when the Target boycott begins.
Okay.
Target's getting the double whammy here. It's 11:14 on WTMJ. New developments in the death of Gene Hackman, his wife, and their German Shepherd. We've got Jim Ryan joining us with details after this.
He's going to fire up a three for the win, and he hit it! Game time has arrived!
Lobs to Giannis, who flushes it in with one hand. Lillard,
Three-pointer for the lead! It's game time!
Green going to fire up a three from the top of the arc, and he sends the ball no line.
Takes it down the lane. He'll lay it in with another foul. Oh, baby! The Greek freak is unleashed.
The sound of the Bucks is here on the home of the Bucks, WTMJ.
Helping people and families seriously injured in accidents and also standing up for victims to take the burden off their shoulders. Greg Matzek here. If you've been hurt in an accident, you call Gruber. Gruber Law Offices. It really is a one-call, that's-all situation. David and his team have built a powerful group of lawyers ready to handle the insurance companies. If you've been hurt in an accident, you just make that phone call to 414-276-6666. When you work with Gruber, you'll notice a few things. Number one, they're one of the largest personal injury firms in the Midwest, and they get results that speak for themselves. You'll also have 40 years of experience behind you serving people in the state of Wisconsin. It's what Gruber has been doing decade after decade. You focus on healing, they'll focus on the legal aspect. They also give back to the community in a variety of ways throughout the course of the year. Generous folks at Gruber, great people, family-run business. Gruber-law.com. That's the website. The phone number, if you've been hurt in an accident, 414-276-6666.
Imagine waking up to the updated kitchen or bathroom of your dreams. J&J Contractors is your preferred partner in all your home renovation needs. They can transform your kitchen with beautiful new floors, custom cabinetry, and more. Dreaming of a spa-like oasis with custom tile work and fixtures? J&J Contractors will design a bathroom that leaves you feeling relaxed and rejuvenated. For your free consultation, just search online, J&J Contractors, or call 414-423-9200. J&J Contractors. Welcome home.
I've always believed that great service makes all the difference. At Waterstone Bank, it's more than just banking. It's personal. When I needed help choosing an account, my banker took the time to understand my needs and guided me through my options. Thanks to her advice, I can watch my money grow, knowing it's secure.
Welcome to your Waterstone Bank, where community and personal service come together. Member FDIC.
Authorities in New Mexico are still working to piece together details of how Gene Hackman and his wife and dog died in their New Mexico home. A welfare check was called on the Hackman residence a couple of days ago, and it revealed that they had been dead for quite some time. Initially, foul play was ruled out. Now there is suspicion. I'm not sure exactly what the difference is. For that, we welcome in ABC's Jim Ryan. Hello, Jim.
Yeah, and the two can exist at the same time, right, Greg? I mean, no foul play suspected. That is, no suspicion that somebody came into the house and killed these two. But at the same time, it's suspicious in that it's a mystery. We don't know how these two died yet, and how the dog died. Investigators were there late yesterday. They were into the night trying to find new evidence as to what happened. Gene Hackman, 95 years old, found in a mudroom, lying on his side, apparently had fallen suddenly, according to the affidavit. His wife, Betsy Arakawa, was discovered on the floor in a bathroom. Near her was a bottle of prescription pills. Some of them had spilled out. She was on the floor near a space heater. The investigator suspects that she pulled the space heater down when she fell. Both of them apparently fell fairly suddenly. The dog was discovered, Greg, in a kennel, in a dog cage, in a closet there near the bathroom. And the question now is, how did they all die? Was it carbon monoxide poisoning? Could have been. We won't know any of these answers probably for a few weeks until the toxicology report comes back, Greg.
Yeah, it's going to take several weeks to sort that out. I did read that interesting nugget. There were multiple dogs, but one died. So how does that happen? If there's a door open, if there's even a flap where potentially carbon monoxide could escaped the house. How was that other animals were able to make it through?
Yeah. Well, they weren't in a kennel. They weren't locked up in a dog cage the way the one that died was. They were all German Shepherds. Hackman apparently was a big fan of German Shepherds, had been for several decades. So the two that were fine, essentially were fine. They were very hungry, but were able to get in and out of the house. There was a door found ajar, in fact, near where Hackman was found. You know, the groundskeepers or the maintenance crew that came out there on Wednesday and made the discovery, one of them said that they couldn't get into the house, but I think that he was panicked. He was trying to get police to step up their pace in getting out there. He may not have realized that there was a door that was open, but it was, and that may have allowed the dogs to get in and out. But you're right. That kind of negates the theory that it was carbon monoxide poisoning.
So are authorities sweeping for fingerprints? Are they looking for anything that might be broken, possible DNA, right? They got to go through the full litany here to try and sort this out. But
Sure.
do they have any leads or idea what this could have been?
Well, I think like everyone else, the things point to potentially carbon monoxide. I suspect that they'll do an exam. This is how my mind was working this morning, Greg. They'll look at the dog, I'm sure, and do a post-mortem on the dog to see how it died. If the dog, the poor thing, starved to death in that kennel, then who knows how Hackman and Arakawa might have died. If the dog died of carbon monoxide poisoning, I suspect that all three of them did. But they all had been there for some time. The evidence points in that direction, according to the affidavit, that they had been dead for some time. The maintenance people who made the discovery hadn't seen them in some time. Of course, that wasn't unusual because they normally contacted the couple through Betsy's text message. So, yeah, it's just so many things to unpack here, and no real firm answers at this point, Greg.
Yeah, more questions at this
Sure.
point. ABC's Jim Ryan covering the story. We appreciate it, Jim. Thank you.
All right. See ya.
Yep, you bet. We'll check in with Jim again next week. Coming up next, windy today, cooling off here for the weekend. We'll get the full week's outlook with Brendan Johnson, TMJ4 meteorologist, after this.
So how would I describe our people? I'd say the people we set out to hire have to be smart, hardworking, and honest. Honesty being paramount of the three. Because honesty breeds integrity. And when you have integrity, you won't let yourself do anything less than your best. And that's who we're looking for. Character counts here, and integrity matters. That's why it's easy for us to offer the industry's best lifetime workmanship warranty with every roof we sell. A rock-solid warranty like ours guarantees our reputation and assures your satisfaction. At Semper Fi, we do the right thing. We seize the moral high ground, and we hold it. And when you do that, you end up having a business that's going to last for generations. This is Brad Youngbluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi!
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
Finding the special healthcare resources families need just got easier. Wisconsin Wayfinder Children's Resource Network helps kids with delays, disabilities, special healthcare needs, and mental health conditions. Call toll-free 877-947-2929. Ask questions, get answers. Connect today toll-free 877-947-2929. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
Oh, wind advisory is in effect until 6 o'clock tonight. If you've been outside, you understand why. It's likely going to ratchet up from where we are. So it kind of negates the 50-degree temperatures that we're feeling here.
A little bit.
It's going to go away, but the temperature is also going to plummet here going into the weekend. TMJ4's Brendan Johnson is in studio walking us through the next several days here, Brendan.
Yeah, hey guys, temperature roller coaster. We've all got to get strapped in because, we're on the upglide right now. But, give it a few hours and we're going to start that descent very quickly here tonight.
Well, we get to the 50s today. We had this discussion a few weeks ago. Is there ever a point where you want the temperature and the wind gusts to be about the same? And I think we've determined no, that's never really a good thing.
No, and I can say that from firsthand experience being out in the storm chaser this morning in downtown. Yeah, you think, the temperature's not that bad. It's at least above freezing. Not when you've got the 20 to 25 mile an hour wind, and that wasn't even the worst of it. It just got progressively worse as the morning went on. So, I think we'd like to keep those numbers a little different from each other, not the same.
Yeah, not crazy when you have to be white-knuckling it down Wisconsin Avenue, and it has nothing to do with the cars that are driving. Hey, yes. Brendan, looking ahead now, it's been dry, dry relatively. The snow's obviously been melting, but it looks like as we get into mid next week, late Tuesday, Wednesday, is there a chance the ground might go from brown to white again?
There is a small chance, yes. We are tracking a larger weather system that moves in on Tuesday. We also could see a little wintry mix on Monday. That's going to be a smaller system. But this Tuesday into Wednesday event starts off as some rain, and then on the backside of that departing system, an opportunity for some slushier, wetter snow that could fall. We're still very far out from exactly how that might all shake out. But at this point, there are some signals that it could be a slushy snow that we might have to shovel in a few spots across the state of Wisconsin as of right now.
Nope. I'm sorry, Brendan. We're flipping to March here. Winter had its chance. It blew it. Yeah. You're done now.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? We can still get snow. Lots of snow in the month of March. We usually do pick up several inches on average. And guys, April and May, can't rule it out. So it's still with us.
Well, thanks for bringing the room down a little bit here, Brendan. We do notice that when we get into early next week, at least we're back into the 40s. So you're at this point now where even if there is some snow that falls, the ground temperature is also starting to improve a little bit here. So the likelihood of that snow sticking around, probably not great.
No, not at all. And that's one of the reasons why it'll also be kind of a wetter, slushier snow. There'll at least be a little bit more moisture. It won't be as cold. So, it'll be a little gross if it does manage to come down and accumulate, but it won't stick around long. Guys, the only cold snap really here in the 7-day is tonight. As soon as these temperatures drop, they'll hit the 30s probably by 5 or 6 o'clock this evening. And then we're down into the teens first thing tomorrow morning. But it's, the 20s with sunshine tomorrow, 30s by Sunday, and then, back into the 40s next week. So no real big cold snaps over the next 7 days or just into the future.
All right, Brendan, we are strapped in. So walk us through as far as actual numbers for temperatures.
Yeah, so right now we're sitting at about 47 in Milwaukee. I've already got a temperature of about 53 in Kenosha. Those wind gusts, though, have been topping out around 30 to 40 miles per hour, and they might even go higher here as the cold front moves by tonight. As you mentioned, that wind advisory continues for the entire area until 6. Numbers will start falling into the 30s here this evening. We're down to a low of around 17 tomorrow in Milwaukee. Those winds still will be blustery overnight, so single-digit wind chills, a distinct possibility. And then sunshine for the weekend. 28 for Saturday, 36 for Sunday, and then we'll watch for that small chance of a wintry mix on Monday with a high of 42, and then those rain showers begin with that more scattered system on Tuesday, but still looking at highs in the mid-40s, slightly cooler by next Wednesday as that slushy snow moves in.
Good stuff. TMJ4's Brendan Johnson. We'll check in again soon. Brendan, thank you.
Yep. Take care, guys. Have a good week.
Yep, you do the same. It's 51 right now, partly sunny, but the wind is definitely blowing around. You could just get a glimpse of that looking at people walking around downtown, headed to the auto show, for example. They're moving quickly here on a sunny and relatively mild temperature day, but the wind is certainly making it feel a little chillier. It's 11:27. News is coming up.
How would you like to own a jewelry store?
Kessler's Diamonds is an employee-owned company.
And Kessler's is growing. Are you the kind of person we're looking for?
Does it make you happy to make other people happy?
Are you a problem solver?
Would you like to wake up every morning knowing that you're going to help a lot of people find joy today?
Kessler's Diamonds is people serving people.
Keep in mind that Kessler's is owned by its employees. So let me ask you this. Are you a good enough leader that you can be an owner who leads other owners?
Don't worry, you don't have to know about diamonds. We can teach you about diamonds. But the people we're looking for aren't looking for a job.
Did someone pop into your head just now?
Do you think you might know who we're looking for?
Give that person a call.
Send them an email.
Tell them to walk into Kessler's Diamonds and say to the person who greets them,
I think I want to work here.
Welcome to Kessler's.
a fantastic place to buy jewelry and a wonderful place to work.
For the store nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Wisconsin's Morning News is here for you every weekday morning starting at 6 a.m. Vince Petrano.
A last-minute request now to delay SROs from entering NPS has been submitted by the Milwaukee City Attorney, Evan Goyke.
Eric Billstad.
Milwaukee's former city attorney, Tierman Spencer, is accused of using his position for personal gain in a property dispute. He's now pleading not guilty.
And traffic with Debbie Lozica.
Volume's starting to pick up a little bit, especially through the stadium interchange.
The news you need to know. Wisconsin's Morning News on WTMJ.
For over a century, local radio has evolved with the needs of the community. From politics to pop culture, we keep you informed, bringing you the most relevant news, online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. I've got a great idea for how you can spend your weekend and come up with some cool ideas how to spend the rest of the year in the great state of Wisconsin. It is Experience Wisconsin. Saturdays at 1 o'clock, we will spin you around the state, tell you some cool places to go, introduce you to some fascinating people. It's Experience Wisconsin. On this week's show, it is beautiful Lake Geneva, and as we head into the Easter season, O&H Danish Bakery. It's Experience Wisconsin, Saturdays right here on WTMJ.
It's 11:30. I'm Greg Matzek. Your top stories: federal cuts affecting the dairy industry.
I'm Adam Roberts, a Wisconsin student studying perfection.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franz. In a key meeting at the White House today, President Trump and Ukraine's President Zelensky discussing an end to Russia's war in Ukraine and finalizing a mineral rights deal between the U.S. and Ukraine. ABC's Tom Sufi-Burrich has more.
The minerals deal is important. In theory, it's that framework that ties U.S. and Ukrainian economic interests together in Ukraine going forward. But I think it's not the main show. I mean, the main show is ultimately how you reach a ceasefire on the ground and what the security guarantees will be. And it doesn't look like there'll be many references to security guarantees in this minerals agreement.
Pope Francis remains in a Rome hospital for pneumonia. The Vatican says he continues to improve. Doctors say it will take more days of clinical stability before they know if the Pope is out of danger. In Los Angeles, the red carpet is out and final preps are underway for this Sunday's Academy Awards. The Oscars air on ABC. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Times 11:31.
Federal budget cuts are now affecting dairy farmers and cheese producers in Wisconsin. The fabulous farm babe, Pam Jonketel, spanning the state, that the dairy industry is at risk of losing critical research.
If we don't suddenly make these funds available that were counted on for some of these research projects, not only will the project come to a stop, but those very valuable scientists that we've been engaged with, depended on, had the vision for where we're going, are going to end up going into industry or going someplace else.
Bianchi says the funds are critical for keeping food scientists and bioengineers working.
With the cuts continuing across the country, many are asking if they're actually making a difference. TMJ4 political correspondent and chief political reporter Charles Benson tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News legislators are focused on national debt.
People like Senator Johnson and other Republicans, they feel strongly that something needs to happen with this ongoing debt. The question is, who gets to cut what, and who benefits from those cuts, and who gets hurt by those cuts?
Benson says the $65 billion so far in cuts has not been enough to pay off the country's $36 trillion debt.
Well, if you've noticed, road construction has been at a near minimum since the holidays. It's going to ramp back up.
With the $41.4 million greenlit from the state, the DOT has slated that for a rehab project along I-41 between Burleigh and Silver Spring. Along with resurfacing, they'll be working on various ramps, noise walls, multiple bridges, and doing lighting work. They'll be starting with overnight long-term closures right away on March 1st, with ramp closures as needed. The whole job is expected to wrap up by late summer of 2026. Debbie Lozica, WTMJ News.
Today marks the end of Black History Month, but one Wisconsin museum commemorates Black history every day. Former Milwaukee Judge Derek Mosley is the director of the Lubar Center at Marquette University and tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News where you'll find the only recognized stop of the Underground Railroad in Wisconsin.
Milton House in Milton, Wisconsin. It was a stagecoach inn, and they would smuggle people out. When you go there, you can actually go through the same tunnel the enslaved went through to freedom.
Wisconsin was the first state to declare the Fugitive Slave Act unconstitutional back in 1854.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 11:34.
This change has leveled us up while being able to maintain the same quality of service that we've always provided, with no upfront fees and 1.9% real estate commission. We're proud to be part of the Century 21 family, so you can move fearlessly with the added confidence of top-of-the-line marketing for maximum home exposure. And that means more eyeballs and the real potential for the highest price for your home. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. With the ability to market luxury homes on a higher scale than ever before, Century 21 Benefit Realty has taken a huge step forward to tap into a global network of buyers. Maximum exposure to spotlight your unique home with our fine homes and estates marketing so you can sell it for the highest price. And with no upfront fees and 1.9% real estate commission, you win. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Hey, this is Steve Scafidi for Advent. I had some snoring issues that kept my wife up at night. That led to poor sleep and a lot of tired mornings on the radio, and nobody wants that, trust me. But it's simply, my nose wasn't working the way it should. I decided to go to Advent for a quick 30-minute visit, one of their great facilities, talk to a bunch of their doctors. They really put me at ease. After a really simple sleep study at home, in my own bed, they determined the root cause of my problem had to do with my sinuses and nasal passages in my breathing triangle. I didn't even know I had a breathing triangle, so I went to see Advent. After a short procedure done in office, I'm back to breathing well, and my wife and I are both back to sleeping through the whole night. The best sleep we've ever had, that could be you. If you struggle with restless nights like I did, take the time to see how Advent can help. To find out how breathing well and sleeping well can make your life and your nights a whole lot better, go to AdventKnows.com, schedule an appointment today. Because Advent knows, when you breathe well, you live better.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Surging Bucks have won 6 of their last 8 games. Head coach Doc Rivers on the key to their recent success.
We've been very good defensively. It's definitely something we're going to watch and teach and show that we can do it every night. We have to.
Milwaukee begins a 2-game road trip Saturday night in Dallas against the Mavericks. And the Brewers take on the Giants this afternoon as Cactus League play continues in Scottsdale. Hear the game on 94.5 ESPN beginning at 1:55.
Let's check the roads now. Your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. Got a fresh crash up for you. It's on 94 North at Rawson. Not blocking lanes. It's over on the right shoulder, so you should be able to move past it. Just be aware, though, that was reported about 10 minutes ago from the DOT 94 North at Rawson. Crash on the right shoulder. Other earlier broken down vehicles seem to be taken care of. Your drive times right now are looking good. No other major incidents or delays.
Wind advisory is in effect till 6 o'clock tonight, a high of 53 degrees. Might see some peaks of sun. It's going to be cold tonight, down to 17. We struggle to hit 30 on Saturday, 36 on Sunday, back into the 40s with cloudy skies on Monday. Right now it's 51 and partly sunny in Milwaukee at 11:37.
Okay, you ready? All right, $118 for car insurance. That's how much I was paying. Okay, you ready? All right, $118 for car insurance. That's how much I was paying.
Well, that sounds like a ripoff. Who wants to pay for that? I certainly don't.
No.
Professional Bull Riders 2025 World Championship race winds through Milwaukee this weekend. Fiserv Forum, March 1st and 2nd. That is cool stuff. It's been here before. It is back again. And amazingly, sitting in our studio right now, without Bull, the 7th-ranked bull rider in the world. It's Austin Richardson in our studio. Hi, Austin.
Hey, how are y'all doing?
Good. Welcome to Milwaukee.
Thank y'all for having me.
You've been here before. You're back again.
Yes, sir. And ready to ride some bulls.
So I got a question. So you travel the country doing this, right? I mean, you're all over the place. You were in Florida last week, in Milwaukee this week. Do the bulls also travel, or is it a new animal every time you go to a different city?
Yeah, the bulls travel with us. They trade out every other weekend. Different contractors from all over the world. bring bulls to these events. So they trade out mostly throughout the year, let them bulls get their rest, just like us riders, and yeah.
So when you get on a bull, sometimes you realize, okay, I've been here before, but you don't know the actual temperament or mood of that bull on that particular day, do you?
Yeah, exactly. Them bulls have 100% chance of doing whatever they want that day. If I've been on before and they've done something before, they're not going to do it the next time. But yeah, I do get on a bunch of bulls that I've been on before throughout the season.
I'm sure you've been asked this plenty before, but can you tell me the time that you looked up and saw, oh, that hoof is coming down on me? Is there a moment you remember specifically from your time on the tour?
Yeah, actually, I think last year or 2 years ago, I had a bull. I was in Los Angeles, California. That bull was coming right down on top of me, and I was like, I'm in a bad spot. What am I doing here?
What can you even do in that situation, right?
Yeah, you just try to get out of the bull's way, and as soon as you hit the ground, just try to get running. But we have 3 of the best bullfighters in the world. They fight throughout the whole event on the weekend, and they do a tremendous job. Like they give us that split second to get away.
Okay, so there's the obvious here, right? The top bull riders in the world, and according to the rankings, there are 6 ahead of you. I find that hard to believe, however. Is it just their ability to stay on a little bit longer? Like, what separates a top bull rider in the world for somebody who's trying to become that?
Yeah, it's just being consistent. I mean, just riding your bulls. I mean, it's all mental as well. Like, if your mind's not in it, it's not going to go well. That's what separates the top bull riders in the world for sure.
So what is game day, for lack of a better term, like for you? What's your process of getting to that point where you're on the bull riding?
Yeah, I mean, during the week I put in a lot of work, but when it's on the weekend, I'm just here to have fun. I chill in the room, and all of our buddies will just play video games or just hang out. We'll get to the event a couple hours early and get stretched out and stuff like that from the sports med, but yeah, just keep it easy.
I like the sound of that game prep, just playing video games before you go out and do your thing. That sounds pretty good.
Clear the mind, yeah.
You know, something else I was curious about, I didn't know that there were teams in bull riding. I've watched it on TV for years, usually Sunday afternoons, but I always just assumed that it was just one man or one woman out there doing their thing, but there are teams in bull riding as well?
Yeah, it's a newly deal from the past 3 to 4 years. We get drafted like football players, baseball players, stuff like that, and we get guaranteed paid, and that's not something that bull riders usually. If we don't do good, we don't get paid. And bringing that team deal to us, that has been amazing for sure.
So we got the NFL Combine going on right now in Indianapolis. Is there a bull riders combine too? Do you have to do like a 3-cone drill for bull riding or an equivalent?
Yeah, there is combines for sure. They just had one in Brazil recently, a few weeks ago. But yeah, there's been 5 or 6 combines that we go to, and especially for newer riders that are joining the PBR, they can go there and showcase what they're made of to the coaches.
I would have to imagine that your core strength has to be just top notch, right? It's got to be second level.
Yeah, that's the main thing. I train like a boxer. I stay really lean. I don't want to be super big because you're not going to outpower a 2,000-pound bull. It's all about balance and strength in the core, like you said. But yeah, I just try to train like a boxer and stay really light, about 140 pounds. So.
Austin Richardson is going to be participating this weekend as the PBR comes back to Fiserv Forum. Are there differences in the venue? Like when you know you're going to Fiserv Forum, are you like, yes, they've got the best lighting, the dirt is soft, whatever it is? Are there things that separate the venues in which you ride?
A little bit. There's some buildings that are really big and some that are kind of a little bit smaller. I think my main thing is the energy level. I love when the people, the fans get into it. That when it's a compact arena full of people, it brings the energy out on us and the bulls.
So you can feel that, right? The louder, the better?
Yes, sir.
Austin, you've been riding since you were 12, and so this is far from your first rodeo, pardon the pun. How long, though, is the average bull rider's career? Because you talk about you've suffered multiple injuries in your young time in this world. How long does the average guy or gal stick with this?
Yeah, I mean, starting as a kid and coming to professional level, that lasts quite a bit long. But as soon as you turn 18, professional level, I'd say a good 10 to 15 years. I mean, it's a short process. It's a short career for a bull rider, especially getting banged up a lot. I mean, anything can happen at any moment. But yeah, just trying to take it year by year.
Definitely unpredictable, no doubt about that. So how do you get started? Like, what's the first thing you rode before you graduated to where you are now?
Yeah, so when I was younger, I had a few friends get me in steer riding, and I tried it one time and fell in love with it, and just trying to work my way up from junior high rodeos to high school rodeos to open bull ridings. And once I turned 18, I bought my PBR card and just went from there.
Do you have to qualify to get to that point?
Yes, sir. Yeah, there's a Touring Pro, Velocity, and UTB level. So UTB level, that's like your NFL, like top event for the PBR. But yeah, you have to work your way up through those two events, and once you win one of those, then you come up to the UTB.
I read that when you were younger, you would ride sheep. Back when you were like 5 or 6 years old.
Yeah.
Does that translate to, I was riding Baba Black Sheep, and now these years later, now I'm riding a 2,000-pound monster?
Yeah, I didn't realize that I'd be going this far with it when I was riding them sheep. But yeah, no, it's kind of a part of the train, riding sheep, calves, and stuff like that all the way up.
I would imagine, this is just a guess on my part, that the majority of people in your profession are from Texas, Oklahoma, kind of that neck of the woods.
Yeah, there's people from all over, mostly Texas, Oklahoma, but there's a lot of guys from Brazil as well.
So what's the connection there? That's it. You've mentioned the Combine was in Brazil also. What's the tie-in to Brazil?
Yeah, Brazil, their whole deal over there is rodeo. Like, they've rodeo all over. That's their big deal, that and soccer. But yeah, a lot of Brazilians came over in the early stages of the PBR when it first started. Like Adriano Moraes, he's a 3-time world champion. He kind of brought the Brazilians over here, and now it's half the guys are Brazilian, and they ride really rank. They're really good.
Is there practice sessions for you? Like, how does it work leading up to the event, or do you have to kind of go in blind and hop on the bull?
Yeah, during the week, if I need to get my form back in riding shape, or just kind of getting that timing back, I'll get on an easier bull back at home. We have practice bulls all over Texas, so if I need to, I'll get on a few practice bulls during the week and then come here.
I'm fascinated by it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Professional Bull Riders 2025 World Championship race. It winds through Milwaukee this weekend. If you want to check out Austin, the 7th-ranked bull rider in the world. The best of the best are here in Milwaukee this weekend. It's at Fiserv Forum, March 1st and 2nd. Well, make friends with your bulls. Austin, be first things first. Yeah. And have a great time in Milwaukee. Yeah. Enjoy the event.
Yes, sir. Thank you all.
Great to have you here. It's 11:45 on WTMJ.
Save big money on everything for your next painting project right now at Menards. Beautify your home in one coat with Pittsburgh Grand Distinction Interior Paint. It's a premium paint and primer that offers excellent hide and coverage with a tough, resilient finish. Save big on Pittsburgh Paint. And don't forget to check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Hey, Wisconsin, WTMJ's Greg Matzek here. I want to send you down to Potawatomi Sportsbook. If you've not checked the place out, do yourself a favor and check out Potawatomi Sportsbook. And with the tournament coming up, yep, you bet, it's going to be a great place. The place is going to be popping at Potawatomi. Make it your destination to watch all the action during March when basketball really heats up. That 2,000-square-foot video wall really stands out. All the games will be there. Great food coming out of the kitchen, full-service bar, VIP deck if you want a more private gathering. Nothing like it in Wisconsin. The best place to watch sports, the best place to soak in the action of March is Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Enjoy the Fox and Hounds restaurant's fabulous all-you-can-eat fish fry. It's one of the best. The magnificent Sunday brunch is also all-you-can-eat. Kids and grandkids under 3 eat free. Call and reserve foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Interest rates are high, home values are up. Decided to stay in your home?
Let's upgrade it with new windows and siding from Abbey Home. We can design fully customized new looks for your home with different profiles, styles, colors. The options are endless. Right now, get 20% off your entire project and qualify for the tax credits with our energy-efficient windows, doors, and siding. Go to myabbeyhome.com today. If somebody asks you if you know a guy in the business, you can say no, but I know a girl.
Just like most cars and trucks can't run without oil, no person can function without food. That's why through March 1st, the Auto Dealers of Metro Milwaukee is contributing $1 from every oil change to Feeding America, Eastern Wisconsin. Every dollar provides 3 healthy meals. Over the past 14 years, Adam has provided more than 2.6 million meals to people in southeast Wisconsin. And now the need is greater than ever. Find a participating Adam dealer near you at adamm.com.
11:49 on WTMJ. Greg Matzek and Adam Roberts. It's Wisconsin's Midday News on a Friday. So happy to be joined in studio by a mentor of mine and a friend. And I don't know if there's anybody more influential on my career in radio than Steve Wexler, who joins us in our studio. And I wanted to welcome you in, Steve, for a number of reasons. But first and foremost, you have been connected with WTMJ Radio going back to your early days of riding your bike to Capitol Drive, the famous story, right?
Yeah, I rode my bike to WTMJ when it was located at Radio City on Capitol Drive. That would have been 1977, so I'm 17 at that time.
17 years old.
Yep.
You produced The Greenhouse, as did I, my first job out of college.
Indeed.
So a lot of parallels for us.
Yep.
But wanted to welcome you in because after decades of your connection with WTMJ Radio, your duties with Good Karma Brands are evolving into another business, which you have kind of created and built and developed. You're also a grandfather a couple of times over.
I am.
So it's, I don't know if it's the closing of a book for you or what this is like, but I've always known Wex at WTMJ Radio, and that's changing a little bit after today.
Yeah, I mean, I've been associated with the stations since those days, those early days in 1977, left the company. In 1985, actually went and worked for Hearst over at WISN for a number of years before I was recruited to go to Portland, Oregon, and then Seattle, Washington, and then came back to WTMJ and Journal in 1993 before they sent me out to Tucson, Arizona, and Omaha, Nebraska, and then back to Milwaukee. So most of my professional career has been spent part of these stations. Over the years, I've stepped away from the day-to-day managing, and I've been doing speaking and consulting and coaching, and I'm going to continue to do that. But today's the last day that I'll be hanging out with all of you and being associated with these specific stations.
It's crazy. We've got 2 basically generations here in the studio that
you calling
consulted.
me older?
A little bit.
Okay, yeah.
A little bit. But you consulted really and trained both of us at various points during our radio career. And one of the things that sticks with me from when I was producing the afternoon show here was the idea of the dazzling detail. You talk so much about that, and that just has stuck with me in my admittedly limited time here at the station, but it really has hung with me.
Well, one of the things that I've tried to do and that I've learned, I mean, really, when you become the elder statesman at these stations over time, you reflect on things you've learned, right? Because, we all get into this. We're trying to perfect the craft and be better at it. And the dazzling detail is the term that I use when I coach on-air talent, TV and radio, by the way, and digital. It's easy to describe something in very obvious terms, like it was a perfect Christmas morning, or I had a great cheeseburger. It's much more memorable if you can tell me what made Christmas morning perfect, why the cheeseburger was perfect. Tell me about the cheese, about the bun, about the fries, paint a picture. And I have found that the breakthrough content creators on radio, on television, and certainly in digital who can use dazzling detail so that the audience can actually feel or see what we're talking about is incredibly powerful. So it's one of the reasons I appreciate the fact that you recall that and that it maybe resonated with you, Adam, because I think part of our job, especially today when we're dealing with news and current events that are very complicated and there's a lot going on in the world, our ability to provide dazzling detail, not just generalities, I think is incredibly powerful for broadcasters.
That is something that I think about every day when we're trying to describe something. We're trying to bring our fans to what we're talking about if we're on site or even talking about something that we're seeing on television. That will always stay with me. You started as a producer of a greenhouse, as I mentioned, and then you developed into a VP of TV and in radio. So when I started, you were kind of in that role around that time that I started. But I will always say this, as a 22-year-old, not really sure of where I would end up in the world of radio, you always had time for me. And I'll never, ever forget that. It always meant a lot to me, even to have a couple of passing words, conversation as we're passing by in the hallway. You always made me feel like I belonged. And when I say that there's nobody more influential in my professional career than you, I truly mean that. You gave me confidence to keep going and try something new. And when we went out to lunch way back in the day and I said, hey, Wex, should I apply for this open gig in Omaha? We talked about it and you encouraged me to stay in Milwaukee. This is your home. This is what you know. And things are going to happen. Just stay the course. You helped set my course in radio, and I owe you so much for that.
Well, you're kind to say that, and I do remember that. We were at Champs out in Brookfield.
I had a Reuben.
You had a Reuben?
I had a Reuben sandwich.
Yeah. Did I pick up lunch?
You did. Thank you very much for that.
That's good to remember that, too. Look, I appreciate that, but I think part of that is because look how I started. I was the kid who showed up at WTMJ on my bicycle, and my mentor was a guy named Jonathan Green, and Jonathan gave me a chance to come in, and I didn't know what I really wanted to do. I just knew I wanted to be in a radio studio like this one and hang out and like understand it and grow. So I appreciate the fact that that you remember that I always wanted to stop down or make sure I had a word. But part of that is because that's how I got my chances, right? Somebody took enough interest in my career and in my goals and in my ambitions. Plus, Greg, look, I'll just say it on the air. You were one of those guys that I noticed because you were willing to work hard and you were paying attention and you were trying to learn. And I realized over the years, it isn't necessarily all the skill and talent. That's part of it. But I didn't walk in with any unbelievable skill or talent, but I knew I wanted to learn. I knew I wanted to listen. I asked a million questions and I saw maybe a little bit of me in you. And so it was very easy for me to stop down and be interested in your career. And I'm just really proud of all that you've done in news and talk and sports and personality and, the kind of teammate that you are, the kind of person that you are. And really that's the thing that I'll probably miss the most about the day-to-day is the people, right? And the relationships that you develop over the years.
When we look at the future of this industry, and it's not just radio, it's just broadcast, we'll use that, or content, if you will. Where do you see the role of the manager when it comes to producing raw talent and the role that plays in their future? Because I think about this as someone who's 31 years old and charting my course in this world.
Well, I worry about this. And in fact, when I go out and speak, I've been speaking to broadcasters around the country. I do a couple of workshops. WEXL.net, by the way, is the website for my coaching and consultancy. If you're interested, WEXL.net. I worry about this, Adam, because the economics of our business, when I say our business, I mean TV, radio, broadcasting, et cetera, have changed so dramatically. And so more and more, there's fewer people behind microphones or behind cameras creating content. There's more what they call leveraged content, which is just a fancy way of saying we're going to create content one place and just spread it out to 20 or 30 or 40 different places. So the role of the manager, I think, is to identify talent, real talent, people who know how to communicate, how to inform, how to inspire. And then to Greg's point, you have to have somebody willing to sit down and spend time with those people so that they can develop their skill. Because being on the air is not unlike any other job that somebody listening right now might have. You better have some skill and some ability, but you better be trying to improve it, right, and grow it. So my worry is that as the economics of broadcasting have changed, there are fewer people in a position to say, Adam, let me sit down and help you be a great broadcaster. Or Greg, let's go grab a hamburger and talk about your goals and your ambition. So I think if the managers are careful to not end up down every rabbit hole and every side project that comes up invariably when you manage, but spend time with the people that are actually creating the content, then I feel a little bit better about our future. But I'm concerned about that as we go forward.
From producing to managing stations around the country, consulting, which you're continuing to do now, coaching, everything you've touched has turned to gold. And your passion for this industry is remarkable. I'm so proud to call you a friend, and I thank you for all of your time. And I know it will continue. I know where you live. I once dropped off a humidifier.
You did. You dropped off. I think it was during COVID, too.
I was. Hey, I got a humidifier delivered to the station. Can you bring it to my house?
I had COVID, and they were like, you need this certain humidifier. And I thought, well, Matzek doesn't live too far. And you were good enough to come over and make that delivery. And the fact that you and I are still friends, even after I nearly beamed you with a tee shot at a golf course that you and I both know very well.
You didn't know it was me, in fairness. It was a little errant of a tee shot.
You still believe that I didn't know it was you. Okay, good. I'm glad that no, it was an errant tee shot, and I almost got you, and I I was embarrassed. I had to go over there and do the, hey man, sorry, and then I realized it was you, and I couldn't tell if I felt a little better that it was somebody I knew or worse. But look, I'm proud of you and what you've done and what you continue to do, and I'm really grateful and just full of pride that I've had the chance to be in a business that I wanted to be in since I literally was a kid. It's all I ever wanted to do. And the fact that I've been able to spend a career in it, raise a family, move, see the country, and now do the things that I'm doing today is a real blessing.
Oh, it's awesome to have you in studio here, Wex. Congratulations on everything. First 9 and first beer after that 9 is on me.
That's totally fair. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it, Wex.
I appreciate it.
News coming up next. It's 11:59.
Politics, work, daily stressors. Let's take a break from all that and get centered, Christ-centered. I'm Pastor Tim Butker. Join me each week for Christian Crusaders, a broadcast that highlights the gospel, the good news of Jesus, and our belief in the authoritative Word of God. Christ-centered, gospel-oriented, Bible-based Christian Crusaders. Please join us Sundays at 6 a.m. on WTMJ. We'd love to have you worship with us.
Heiser's Snowy Roads Sweetheart Prices sales event is happening now. Remaining 2024 models are priced to go. Looking for a vehicle that can handle our wintry roads? Get yourself a reliable all-wheel drive that can handle anything winter throws at you. With heated seats to top safety features and our exclusive Safe and Sound program, which includes roadside assistance for life, our vehicles are built to keep you cozy with peace of mind, even when the roads get slick. But hurry, our 2024 models are almost gone. So visit Heiser.com today.
See dealer for complete details. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Beer fans, travel lovers, and history buffs, this is your dream vacation. Join me, Sandy Max, on a 10-day journey through Germany, Austria, and the Czech Republic. We'll enjoy Munich's famous beer halls, sip our way through Salzburg's historic breweries, and discover Vienna's culture and craft beer scene. Then end the tour in Prague, where ancient history meets modern brews. From iconic castles to authentic flavors. Grab your passport and let's raise a glass to the ultimate beer adventure. Limited spots available. Book now. Email me, sandy@WTMJ.com to learn more.
Get your rock solid guaranteed pre-approval to buy at ACCUNET.com.
Your trusted and relevant source for news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 12:01. I'm Greg Matzek. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. It's Friday, February 28th. Your top story, more lead problems for Milwaukee Public Schools.
I'm Adam Roberts. A meeting devolves into a shouting match.
Wind advisory in effect until 6 o'clock tonight for all of southeastern Wisconsin. High of 53, wind gusts up to 45. Cold tonight, a low of 17. We really drop off here. Saturday's high, 30 degrees. Sunday's high, 36. Back into the 40s by Monday. 51, partly sunny, very windy in Milwaukee at 12:02. From the WTMJ breaking newsroom, a Milwaukee public school faces temporary closure over high lead levels.
Milwaukee Public Schools and Milwaukee Health Department sent letters to parents of Trowbridge Street School that high levels of lead dust were found in the building. To help with the deep cleaning process, MPS has asked that students move temporarily to the Wisconsin Conservatory of Lifelong Learning starting next Monday. A full press briefing will be given Friday to address what levels of lead were found at the schools. This is the first time since the MPS lead investigations have begun that students have been asked to temporarily leave their school. Sean Brinda, WTMJ News.
The Milwaukee Health Department also just released lead level reports for Maryland Montessori School, finding high levels of lead dust in 2 rooms on the ground floor of that building.
President Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky were supposed to meet at the White House to discuss the economics and security of that nation. What happened was apparently a shouting match. The president and Vice President J.D. Vance berating Ukraine's leader as he sought security guarantees from the U.S. to bring an end to the Ukrainian war.
You're You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful.
Ukraine expected to sign a landmark economic agreement with the U.S. that would bind the two countries economically for years. It's unclear now what will happen after the meeting ended abruptly.
Eric Hovde's lawsuit against the Democratic Political Action Committee and several media companies is dismissed. The former Republican Senate candidate sued for defamation over ads that he said, quote, rigged the system to become a, quote, multimillionaire California banker. A Brown County judge ruled the ads constitute mere expressions of opinion. Hovde lost his 2024 election bid against Senator Tammy Baldwin by less than 1 percentage point.
A measles outbreak in West Texas has now grown to 146 cases with 1 death and 20 hospitalizations. While the number of infections steadily rises, so does the number of vaccinations.
Texas law requires children entering public school to be vaccinated against measles, but it also allows parents to refuse the shot for their kids. While West Texas has some of the highest rates of non-vaccination in the country,
we are seeing an increase in our vaccination numbers.
Lubbock Public Health Director Catherine Wells says 50 kids got their shots at a measles clinic Thursday.
11 of them had a previous exemptions.
Their parents having had a change of heart. Jim Rungan, ABC News, Dallas.
Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything in the red, but opportunity to rebound here. The Dow is down about 21 points at 43,218. NASDAQ down about 50 this afternoon at 18,494. It's not been a good week for the NASDAQ. S&P 500 down about 10 at 5852. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. For details, visit annexwealth.com.
Sports, traffic, and weather on the way next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 12:05.
It's a super affordable family fish fry Friday at the Mine Shaft Restaurant in Hartford. WTMJ's John Mercure here. Do not pay $16 or more for your fish fry. The Mine Shaft fish fry is just $7.99, and it's all you can eat. You deserve it. After a long week, relax with a cold beverage and a great fish fry. Kids menu starts at $3.99, and they can safely play in that huge game room quietly tucked aside from the dining area while you finish up, maybe have an after-dinner drink. I repeat, hard to believe, the Mine Chef's all-you-can-eat fish fry is $7.99. Desserts are always buy one, get one free. The Mine Shaft in beautiful downtown Hartford. And near the EAA in Oshkosh, tons of seating, lots of close parking. Reserve now for your Friday $7.99 all-you-can-eat fish fry, serving from 11 a.m. Get there early. I love that fish fry. Your Saturday steak dinner is under $20. Sunday brunch under $15. What a value. MineshaftRestaurant.com.
If you're living with joint pain in your shoulders, hips, elbows, and knees, and you have Medicare or Medicaid insurance, coming to Rejuvenex to solve your pain problems is something you should strongly consider. First off, because our FDA-approved pain treatments have been shown in many cases to be highly effective at reducing inflammation and substantially alleviating pain. Secondly, Medicare and Medicaid cover Rejuvenex treatments, so your cost could be nothing, or next to nothing at all. Chronic pain will only worsen with age. This leads to a far more compromised lifestyle, depression, and soon they start talking surgery. And then what? You have to get in front of arthritis and chronic pain, because the sooner you do, by letting us begin to calm those pain points, the better. I'm Rejuvenex founder Richard Salinas, and we can alleviate your pain so you can rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your pain. Rejuvenate your life.
Go to Rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
It's like being trapped in a cage. And I know, that sounds dramatic, but your breathing triangle problem has got you trapped. And once you're freed, you're going to be able to live the life that you're missing out on. Now, this can simply mean experiencing the true pleasure of breathing freely. It will mean better sleep and more energy. And the worry of this problem any more affecting your life is going to be gone. Because in almost every case, when Advent has solved a breathing triangle problem, it's a one and done. Because we're not in the business of delivering Band-Aids. We want to fix your nasal breathing problem for good. We don't want you to be a lifelong patient. We want you to be our next success story.
Isn't it time you break free from that cage? Take the next step. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports desk. Brewers continue Cactus League play this afternoon against the Giants in Scottsdale. You can hear that game on 94.5 ESPN beginning at 2 o'clock. Brewers outfielder Christian Yelich not expected to play today, but you could see Yelly on the field soon.
The road to recovery for Christian Yelich is nearly complete. Pat Murphy revealed to reporters that Yelly could be making his Cactus League debut as the calendar turns to March. General Manager Matt Arnold expressed his belief in Christian Yelich's return.
We're all around him every day and know how much he cares, know how much he was trying. It just wasn't there for him. And I saw him working hard. Going from that point there to fast forward to today where he's in a live BP and feels great, looks great. I mean, I can't even tell you how great that feels. It really does. I'm really excited for Christian this year.
From American Family Fields of Phoenix, I'm Dominic Cotroneo.
Our next broadcast scheduled for Saturday afternoon at 2 o'clock. College basketball this weekend. 21st ranked Marquette visits Georgetown. It's a 7 o'clock tip Saturday night. A win for the Milwaukee Panthers on Saturday against Detroit Mercy could mean a number 2 seed for the Panthers in next week's Horizon League tournament. And 11th ranked Wisconsin visits 8th ranked Michigan State Sunday afternoon at the Breslin Center. Badger Sports Update sponsored by Siding Unlimited. Siding and a whole lot more.
Let's check the roads now. Your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic. Going over some of our incidents, we still have some issues on 94. North near Rawson, right shoulder is still blocked due to a crash that we had earlier this morning. Also got a separate broken down vehicle just down the way on 94 South near Drexel. That's on the right shoulder as well. As far as your drive times, you are looking good. No incidents or delays.
Wind advisory in effect till 6 o'clock tonight. You're feeling it out there. The temperatures are above 50, but not feeling like it when the wind is gusting up to 40 miles an hour. Tonight, partly cloudy, blustery, a low of 17. 29 the high on Saturday under mostly sunny skies. 36 the high on Sunday. Pretty nice day. Monday is a chance of a wintry mix and a high of 42. 53, and sun is shining in Milwaukee at 12:10.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzek, and in for Jessica Ty, it's Adam Roberts.
1 hour down, 1 to go here. It's the Friday edition of Wisconsin's Midday News. Starting to feel a little bit like spring. Got people walking to the auto show, hustling into the auto show, as I noticed during the break. The wind is ripping outside, so if your trash cans have been left out, you may have to fetch it down the road a block or two. It's windy today, so maybe not feeling like the temperature that it is.
Yeah, 53 is supposedly the high. Supposedly is the strong word there.
12:11 on WTMJ. We're on top of some big stories here this afternoon.
It's now at noon on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Well, the numbers are out, and no surprises here. Inflation still on the rise. The Federal Reserve releasing its findings today.
Take out food and energy, and the personal consumption expenditures price index rose 0.3% from December to January. The more reliable January to January figure was up 2.6%. It wasn't a huge increase, and the expectation is that the Fed won't cut interest rates based solely on these numbers.
It's ABC's Jim Ryan. New data from the Commerce Department shows households are actually saving less of their after-tax dollars and leaning more on credit cards. In other words, the spending is not slowing down, and the share of people making just the minimum payment on those credit cards, the highest it's been in 12 years.
No, President Trump was supposed to meet with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky today at the White House. Well, they did meet, and that was what was supposed to happen. However, a shouting match ensued.
You're You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful.
Now you heard it there, the president calling Zelensky disrespectful. Also, Vice President J.D. Vance in the room as well. Zelensky should be thankful, Trump said, on the ability to sign a peace deal, which was supposed to be the plan. It doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. Zelensky saying the deal, quote, not enough. And And we were watching this evolve here on our screens. There was a lot of finger pointing, a lot of hand gestures.
It didn't seem very peaceful.
No, but everyone was still seated, which made it all the more interesting, too. They were not getting in each other's grill like before a big UFC bout. It was just seated in suits, hands pointing very viciously.
Number 3, a tech company that helped pioneer new ways of communication is going away.
You probably haven't heard this sound in a while. It's a Skype call, or at least it was. Microsoft says it's shutting down the pioneering video and voice calling system in May. Founded over 20 years ago in Estonia, Microsoft spent more than $8 billion to buy Skype in 2011. 3 years later, it handled 40% of international calls. But it's since been overshadowed by other services and Microsoft products like Teams. So now, Brian Clark, ABC News.
Launched in 2003. Skype was very popular.
Oh, yeah.
It was free video calls. I mean, this is way before Zoom or Microsoft Teams or FaceTime, right? I mean, it's 2003, before the iPhone came out. And before Microsoft purchased Skype in 2011, eBay actually purchased the rights in 2005. I mean, it was making money. It was bought for a pretty penny, no doubt about that. I mean, don't feel bad for the original owners of Skype here. They're in pretty good shape. But it's just like anything, gone the way of the dinosaur as new options, easier options have become more front and center.
But they won't be forgotten. Skype walked so Teams could run, as you say.
Yeah, no, very good point. Right, still part of the Microsoft platform, and how they developed Teams was based upon how Skype was handled and developed. Interesting stuff. 12:14 on WTMJ. We've got the Week in Review coming up next.
Whatever you want to call this season, we're over it. Time to look forward to...
Fly ball, right field. It is deep. It is gone!
Spring training is finally here and back on the radio.
It is up and it is gone. A walk-off homer for Vinny Capra.
Make sure to catch our next spring training broadcast as the Brewers take on the Rangers Saturday at 2. No matter the season, we are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ.
Well, the end of the work week, you want to make things easy for dinner, right? Why not make it a Palermo's night? Easy and delicious. No one is going to be unhappy with Palermo's on the table. I can tell you that. Sendik's has got a great deal going on right now for Connie's, one of the great Palermo brands. $5.99, good through March 4th. Get over to Sendik's and stock up on Connie's pizza, $5.99. That's a great deal. Now through March 4th. Connie's, one of the great varieties of Palermo's pizza. So is Screamin' Sicilian, Primo Thin, Urban Pie, you name it. Surfer Boy pizza is delicious. We've got a full stocked freezer with Palermo's. Might be a Palermo's night for us. We're all over the place with different practices and whatnot. Make it easy. Keep it easy with Palermo's. 60 years of making the best tasting frozen pizza you can find. It is Wisconsin's hometown pizza, Palermo's.
Blaine's Farm and Fleet Spring Workwear event is going on now, and we have a great selection of quality workwear styles at unbeatable prices. Like 30% off men's work and sport sweatshirts. Save $100 on select men's Keen utility work boots. $59.99 while supplies last. New at Blaine's, men's brunt workwear apparel, 25% off. Plus, earn $30 in Carhartt bucks for every $125 spent on Carhartt gear. We've got the value you need to do things your way. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Being original.
Do you know or work with kids who have special healthcare needs? Help them live their best lives. Contact Wisconsin Wayfinder Children's Resource Network. Our specialists will connect you with services in your area. Wisconsin Wayfinder is free and confidential. Call 877-947-2929 or visit dhs.wi.gov/WISCWAY. Connect today. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
Wind advisory in effect till 6 o'clock tonight. Wind gusts up to 45 miles an hour today, a high of 53. Going to see plenty of sun. Tomorrow, sun returns, but the temperatures drop, a high of just 29. Sunday's high 36, back into the 40s on Monday. 53 and mostly sunny in Milwaukee at 12:17.
It's Friday on Wisconsin's Midday News. That means it's time for the Week in Review. Another big one, the Pope Watch in Vatican, cabinet craziness in D.C., an irate judge reprimanding the city of Milwaukee. All that and plenty more. It's the Week in Review, brought to you as always by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
What we do here is go.
Beep, beep.
The Vatican saying the 88-year-old Pope showed slight improvement but remains in critical condition after suffering a prolonged asthmatic respiratory crisis over the weekend. Cardinals and the faithful gathering in St. Peter's Square.
I don't know what to pray for. I hope he's not suffering.
If you've been walking around downtown Milwaukee this weekend, you may have noticed some peculiar bipeds, colorful, walking around the Baird Center. Those are furries.
Can a furry ever dress as a human?
I've had a friend bring that up, and honestly, I'm not ready to go into skin suiting.
I got bit by one, and I liked it.
2 people are hurt after an argument leads to a Madison City bus crashing into a restaurant.
The female passenger became so upset when she learned that the bus was not going to her desired destination that she began attacking the driver, causing him to lose control of the vehicle.
The Iron District, there's something going on in the Iron District that could start this summer.
We are backing this Bear development. There's a lot of other parties involved as well, this Iron District soccer stadium project.
We are playing football.
The district says student data was not impacted, but that a security breach at Racine Unified did affect the staff's personal information.
A man from Pewaukee missing in the Puerto Rican rainforest for 3 days has been found.
We are so thankful to the God and all those Puerto Rican people who did all the work, and he's doing wonderful right now.
President Trump will host his first full cabinet meeting of his second term, and he is inviting his most powerful advisor, Elon Musk.
It's an honor to have you. He's been a tremendously successful guy.
I'm confident at this point, knock on wood, knock on my wooden head, because you got a lot of wood up there, that we can actually find $1 trillion in savings.
Randy Knaflick of Milwaukee was the VP of HR at SpaceX in 2012. During an exclusive interview on Wisconsin's Midday News, Knaflick said going to SpaceX was quite the shift.
Elon was very intense, and so you always had to be on your game, and if you weren't, watch out.
Well, I did say people were going to die.
The Florida Man Games.
Live the headlines without the jail time. That's the founding principle of the Florida Man Games. Pete Melfi is the event's founder.
I was born and raised here. We embrace our weird.
Well, it ain't the Olympics.
Breaking news overnight from New Mexico. Legendary actor Gene Hackman, his wife, and their dog all found dead.
Hackman was found in the mudroom of the home, appearing to have suddenly fallen.
Officials say the Hoosiers star and his wife had likely been dead for weeks.
A murder-suicide inside a home in Franklin.
We have 2 PMV, 1 confirmed gunshot wound to the head. We're going to have to continue to clear the residence.
The year was 1968. Al Flowers was just a boy when he went off to war. He was trying to escape the housing projects of Chicago when the Marines caught his eye.
I knew this would get me away from the danger of the streets of Chicago. Little did I know that things would get considerably more dangerous down the road.
It is a statue that pops out at you as you drive along MLK Drive and Vine. It's of the late Martin Luther King Jr., who stands about 15 feet tall. The artist who made the silica bronze statue, Eric Blom.
So I wanted to capture that I have a dream speech.
My 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character.
I'm finding the city of Milwaukee in contempt of my prior order.
The city argued that putting officers in schools before training would be a risk to taxpayers and the school. But Judge Borowski saw things a bit differently.
How anyone could dream up a risk to the taxpayers, I don't understand.
My mother-in-law, Diane, passed away this week at the age of 86. I was blessed over the last 40-plus years of having a bonus mom and dad who were always there for Kathy and I. We're all going to miss you, but you'll never be forgotten by all of us who loved you so much. Diane and Dreska, you will be missed.
Lopez drives down the lane, flushes it through with a foul! Oh, be nice, big fella.
Now it's go time.
What are we, gay?
Skin suiting.
They're having a fur ball.
Beep, beep.
Take care. Goodbye.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
Oh, it was a great job. The Weekend Review, pieced together by Adam Roberts, does a great job with that each and every week. And it's presented by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
Do you have a written financial plan? Hi, I'm Aaron Kowal of Kowal Investment Group. We have recently joined Creative Planning, a national registered investment advisor. This move allows us to provide more comprehensive wealth management services to help with all aspects of your finances, including your investments, taxes, estate plan, and more. At Creative Planning, we understand life is busy, and sometimes important things like retirement planning can fall to the wayside. So I'm here to remind you to take time to plan. A 1-hour complimentary consultation with our fiduciary advisors will help you get started on the path to your dream retirement. We will review your current financial situation, your goals and needs, and help you plan for life's what-ifs. Don't delay planning for your future any longer. And even if you already have a plan, A second opinion from our advisors can help determine if there are adjustments to make. Kowal Investment Group is now Creative Planning. Visit creativeplanning.com to get started. That's creativeplanning.com.
Is outdoor living limited at your place? Well, imagine a deck, a patio, pergola, fire pit, maybe even an outdoor kitchen in your yard. Outdoor Living Unlimited is a local, family-owned company that consults, designs, and builds these things. They're the best. Let them make Outdoor Living Unlimited in your yard like they did in ours. We are Wisconsin. We live outdoors as much as possible. Make the most of it with help from Outdoor Living Unlimited. See OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
What we've found is that when you have workers who feel valued, you get better results. This is why good people and good culture should matter to anyone looking for an exterior remodeling company they can trust. It's going to be your experience and the end result that gives you peace of mind, because you'll know your work was done by people who care. We realized early on that if we were going to change the reputation of this industry for the better, that finding good workers that you could trust to do great work was going to be the key. We're attracting good people every day because we take care of our people. We want to make sure they feel important because they are. And we're going to make sure you feel important and valued too, with excellent customer service and high quality work. This is Brad Youngbluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Well, have you ever wished someone acting dangerously on the road would get caught right in front of you, right there and then? In this month's Driver's Ed with Debbie Lozica takes a closer look at dash cams and how they can help level the playing field out on the roads.
Okay. Tell me if this has happened to you. You're driving along, minding your own business, following all the traffic rules like I know you do, and bam, some yahoo comes up on the right shoulder and cuts you off to get ahead of you.
What an idiot.
Don't you just wish there was a way to catch these people in the act? Well, recently I fell into a YouTube rabbit hole watching dashcam videos and wondered, dashcams, are they really a thing? Well, according to Wisconsin Statute 346.88, they are legal as long as they don't obstruct your view of the road. So at least there's that. But you gotta wonder, have they always been a thing? Insurance Information Institute's Scott Holman says, sort of.
Dash cams have been used by law enforcement for decades. It started in the 1960s, but it's really only become popular with private drivers in the last 15 years. Right now, it's only estimated that maybe 10 to 18% of people use dashboard cameras while they're driving.
But that percentage is starting to climb because it could actually affect your insurance premium.
Some insurance companies may provide discounts by using dash cams. There's something called telematics that some insurance companies use to, if you have, say, a younger driver, you may qualify for a discount if you allow a camera to be put in that car that then sends messages back to the insurance company and to the parents to let everyone know how that young driver is doing.
Beyond being something that you can send into YouTube and get your 15 minutes of fame, dash cams have typically been used as impartial witnesses. And when things become a he said, she said situation, footage from dash cams can clarify things empirically.
The benefit of them is if something happens, if there is an accident, this can help provide information about what caused that accident, or at least provide some clarity for the situation at hand.
What about the folks who are always on the road? The trucking industry. How do they feel about dash cams? Craig Plewa, truck driving instructor at MATC in Oak Creek, says even when he was driving, it wasn't required equipment, but he went out and got one installed himself. Nowadays, it's a lot more common.
I think more and more trucking companies are beginning to have these as just regular equipment. It's in their own benefit. There's people that go out and cut in front of trucks and slam on the brakes so they get hit and can sue them. And if you have this on dash cam, it definitely helps your case in court when you can see it's an intentional act.
They're even talking about further technology.
They're actually eliminating the mirrors off the side of the trucks and having cameras so you can see inside the truck. You have no blind spots. You can see all the way around and everything is recorded there too.
And we're not just talking about America either. Speaking with Michelle Cheney, who was a city bus driver in Sydney, Australia, I found out that dash cams are important there too.
I was driving along a motorway and a car in front of me braked suddenly, so I braked and I looked in the mirror and all I saw was the grille of a great big truck. Now I actually put my foot down and swerved to get out of the way. It then jackknifed. It slid across 3 lanes of traffic and missed every car in sight. Anyway, I thought it was quite interesting, so I came home and we have a YouTube channel in Australia called Dashcams Australia, so I thought I'll just upload it to there and see what happens.
The next day, her friends called her up saying they saw her video on TV.
So obviously Channel 9 put it on their news about this lucky call that we had. It was very close.
Let's face it, when something happens, there are going to be multiple perspectives on what truly happened in that incident. How do you know what's true? Bottom line, dash cams can be an objective way to get a somewhat unbiased depiction of an incident, and you don't even have to put it up on YouTube. Debbie Lazaga, WTMJ News.
Now, about your house. Eric Brown is the president of Siding Unlimited, your contractor for new windows, roofing, siding, decks, and a whole lot more. He knows about your house. So what do you know, Eric?
Siding is what pops on your home. Clean lines, beautiful accents, and wonderful colors can make your home really look amazing. Homeowners are always looking to add curb appeal when buying new siding, and a well-installed product from Siding Unlimited will definitely deliver a grand appeal. There is so much more to gain from replacing your siding other than the curb appeal you're already seeking. There is so much value in having new siding with low maintenance. Just an annual cleaning with the hose is all you really need to do. You can't get much lower maintenance than that. The process of replacing siding gives homeowners a fresh start, a new understanding knowing that we can peel back the old stuff and get a real in-depth inspection on the walls on your home and the structural integrity. How has the home performed over the past 20 years? We'll see it all when removing the old siding. There's a high percentage your home is missing the most important factor in siding a home, and that's a working water barrier. Many homes built in the 1990s and prior don't have a water barrier beneath the siding, and homes that were built in the 90s that do have one probably have a water barrier that was installed incorrectly. New siding replacement assures us that we install the water barrier correctly and protect the home moving forward. Our process always includes adding insulation board to the wall. This gives you a water barrier underlayment and additional R value, which is an energy coefficient, so warmer walls, adding more value to the project than the expected curb appeal. As the new siding goes back on, we know your home will be ready to manage water well into the future and look amazing doing so.
Eric and his crews at Siding Unlimited are your go-to contractor here for siding and also replacement windows, roofing, and decks. Take the next step. Check them out at sidingunlimited.com. Siding Unlimited, siding and a whole lot more.
It's 12:30. I'm Greg Matzek. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Friday, February 28th. Your top story, what really happened when an officer was shot in Milwaukee?
I'm Adam Roberts. VA workers fired in Madison.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Michelle Franzen. The meeting at the White House between President Trump and Ukraine's President Zelensky getting off to a tense start. Vice President J.D. Vance and members of Trump's cabinet also in the room. President Trump blaming Zelensky for being disrespectful.
Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not winning. You're not winning this. You have a damn good chance of coming out okay because of us.
Mr. President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful.
Zelensky trying to thank the U.S., but also working to get security guarantees for any peace deal with Russia.
I really count on your strong position to stop Putin, and you said that enough with the war. I think that is very important.
President Trump telling Zelensky he does not hold the cards. The meeting ending early. President Trump issuing a statement saying he believes Zelensky is not ready for peace if America is involved. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News time is 12:31.
Body camera footage released of an officer-involved shooting.
Drop the gun! Officer down! Officer down!
That's the sound from newly released Milwaukee police body camera video from the shooting on Milwaukee's west side that left an officer injured. You can hear Officer Daniel Gonzalez and his partner giving commands before shots are fired at the intersection of 27th Street and Wisconsin Avenue on February 12. 24-year-old Isaiah Stott was shot and killed. Officer Gonzalez was injured in the chest and leg. He is now home recovering. Sean Brinda, WTMJ News.
The Milwaukee Veterans Affairs Office not the only hospital to see job cuts this week.
Dozen Veterans Affairs workers were fired in Madison this week. It's all part of the latest cuts to the federal workforce by DOJ. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel says all in all, 16 were terminated out of Madison, including one disabled veteran. Earlier this week, the paper says 10 were fired from the Milwaukee VA. In Toma, no word on the number of staff cut there, but Congressman Derek Van Orden did tell the Journal-Sentinel there have been adjustments in the staffing. Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
Well, feedback on the second Trump administration's first few weeks. TMJ4 chief political reporter Charles Benson tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News the impact of Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency's cuts hasn't been as significant as they've hoped.
Billions of dollars sounds really good, but we're 36 trillion in debt. Okay, so even if you get to 10% of that, that's $200 billion.
Benson says the job cut from federal programs has voters concerned for funding and federal program availability.
Most high school students dread standardized tests, but for Menominee Falls Jr. Nishanth Suthan, he is at the top of his game with perfect scores in not just the PSAT and the SATs, but also the ACTs. Suthan telling Wisconsin's Afternoon News his strategy.
Use all your resources, spend as much time as you can, and on the actual test, don't overthink the questions. That's a problem I had. Like, is it trying to trick you? Usually it's not. And look at the answers and see what they're saying, and just think about, is that objectively true? Can I put that to something else that I've found in the problem or in the text if it's a reading or writing question?
Suthan hasn't picked a college yet, but hopes to work in science or finance.
1234 and WTMJ, sports, traffic, and weather are next.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally and safely, and with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Our program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Steve Scafidi. I've been on this weight loss journey for about 4 weeks, and I've already lost 20 pounds thanks to my amazing team at Milwaukee Weight Loss. My wife's on board. Kathy loves it, and we are both feeling more energized.
Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. That's up to a pound per day. Schedule your free consultation by calling 262-449-1180 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. You want to know the price of a new roof on your home today? Well, it's easy. Just go to TriCountyContracting.wi.com, click on the Instant Roof Quote button, put in your address and email, click the Show My Roof Price, and there you go. Zero wait time. There's your quote. You shop online for everything else. Who says you can't shop online for a new roof? Tri-County Contracting at WI.com. It's worry-free roofing, siding, and windows. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com.
As clutch of a player to ever play basketball.
It's game time on Season 4 of Behind the Bucks on Bucks Plus.
This year, I was like, I need to impose myself more on this team.
Explore Damian Lillard's journey to becoming a top 75 player in NBA history.
That's what really had me feeling like this is going to be great.
Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and H&R benefits consultant. Find Bucks Plus on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. The Bucks have won 6 of their last 8 games. Head coach Doc Rivers on the key to their recent success.
We've been very good defensively. It's definitely something we're going to watch and teach and show that we can do it every night. We have to.
Bucks begin a 2-game road trip Saturday night in Dallas against the Mavericks. And the Brewers take on the Giants this afternoon as the Cactus League season continues in Scottsdale. You can hear the game on 94.5 ESPN. Coverage begins at 1:55.
Let's check the roads for WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. We do have a crash right now. It's blocking the left lane on 94 East right at 13th Street. Looks like the car is right under the overpass from 13th, and so, or actually that's 16th, excuse me. The crash is at 13th, and so the backups are stretching all the way back through the stadium close to Hawley Road right now. So be mindful, it's adding a few extra minutes if you're heading east from the suburbs into downtown right now. Again, 94 East, 13th Street, is where we have a crash that is blocking the left lane. Elsewhere, everything is looking all right for the most part. No other major incidents or delays.
Wind advisory in effect till 6 o'clock tonight. You can expect wind gusts up to 45 miles an hour. Temperatures in the mid-50s. May not feel like it, however. Sun is shining, though. Tonight, cold, low of 17 degrees. Tomorrow's high about 30 under sunny skies, 36 on Sunday, 42 the high on Monday. 53, mostly sunny in Milwaukee at 12:38. Oh, the red carpet is rolled out. Ballots have been cast. Now, all that's left to do is wait before the trophies are handed out. The 97th Annual Academy Awards air Sunday night on ABC. It's been quite the year in the world of film and movies. And typically we talk with Mike Dubusky on Tech Tuesday. And now he's taking his tech hat off, putting his Oscars hat on. Hello, Mike.
Hey, guys. How are you? Yeah, different hats. I guess we could call this Entertainment Friday, Oscar Friday. I don't know. Something we can workshop it.
We'll work on the alliteration and workshop it for later on. But any drama built into what we anticipate watching on Sunday night?
Plenty, I think it's fair to say. One of the kind of defining things about this Oscars race is how unpredictable it has been. At various points, we've had maybe 4 different frontrunners in the Best Picture race, really competitive races in the actor in a leading role category, Best Actress category as well. And then, of course, across the entirety of the Oscar ballot, there are some big question marks about exactly who's going to win. Usually at this point, we have a good idea. Last year, it was kind of Oppenheimer's Oscars to lose. But this year, it's a lot more diverse and a lot more kind of diffuse. We just don't really know what's going to happen. It seems, for what it's worth, like Nora has some energy going into Sunday night for Best Picture. This, of course, is a movie about a sex worker in New York City who falls in love with the heir to a Russian billionaire fortune, and then things kind of go awry. That movie has taken in a Producers Guild Award, a Directors Guild Award, a Critics' Choice Award, and an Indie Spirit Award. And, of course, it kind of kicked off the awards season by winning the Palme d'Or at the Cannes Film Festival last year. So that seems to have some energy going into Sunday night, but many spoilers await, right? Where there is The Brutalist, the 3.5-hour epic starring Adrian Brody about the immigrant experience in post-war America. That's won plenty of awards. Conclave is kind of hovering in the background as like a dark horse candidate, and we can't discount Emilia Perez, which scored tons of nominations this year, but also was rocked by various controversies, not the least of which was star Carla Sofia Gascon, where they were found to have posted, controversial tweets covering a variety of very contentious topics, which kind of knocked her and that movie somewhat out of contention. But even still, could be a spoiler candidate going into Sunday night.
I just don't want to see a sweep. I don't want to see the same movie win multiple categories, like 3, 4, or more. We have that on occasion. I think there's a lot of good flicks available here. I'd like to see the wealth spread a little bit. Given that there is some intrigue going into the weekend, do you believe that could be the case, that you do see, one movie pops here, one movie pops in a different category, and not a clean sweep?
Yeah, I think if any year that's going to happen, it's probably going to be this year. Generally speaking, the wisdom of the Best Director category is that it marries up to the Best Picture category. So in other words, if Brady Corbet scores a Best Director win sort of middle of the ceremony, you're pretty safe to assume that The Brutalist is going to pull out a win for Best Picture at the end of the ceremony. But this year, that could change, right? Brady Corbet, for The Brutalist, has been running a very prominent director campaign, as has Sean Baker, who directed Anora. They're both prominent figures in Hollywood who have been making very compelling speeches at various awards shows about the state of indie filmmaking that has really affected a lot of people. This could be the year where those split, right? We could see Brady Corbet pull out an Oscar for directing The Brutalist, but then the Best Picture win goes to Anora. It's really unclear at this point. It's really interesting to watch. I think that there's a lot of movies that could get it. I think if you kind of get yourself in the head of an Oscars voter, generally speaking, they do like to spread the wealth a little bit. They don't like to have a clean sweep like we saw in 2023 when Everything Everywhere All at Once kind of swept every major category. I don't think that's going to happen this year, if only because there's not really a prominent frontrunner in really any category except for Best Supporting Actor, which seems like it's going to go to Kieran Culkin. That kind of is the only lock that I think Oscars watchers really feel comfortable making. But even still, really, that's kind of what makes it fun to follow this sort of thing.
I just want to be a seat filler and go to the after party. That's really my only interest in the Oscars, if I'm being perfectly candid, right? Whoever wins the awards, fine. But give me a spot as a seat filler, maybe a spot at the after party, and I'm a pretty happy guy.
Sure. And I mean, look, the Oscars also has to be a show that is entertaining, right? They've got Conan O'Brien coming in to host, taking over for Jimmy Kimmel. It's going to be interesting to see how Conan tackles that. They have various performers coming on stage to perform, the songs from, very popular movies from across the year in film. We have the return of Oscars clips, so we're going to see little bits and pieces of the sort of acting performances before the awards themselves are handed out. It's going to be a really interesting, I think, couple hours to watch, and the expectation is that this is going to go kind of long. This is going to go a little bit longer than last year's show, which I believe was 3 hours and 23 minutes in total with commercials. It seems like, if we're talking to the producers of the Oscars, it's going to be a little longer this year. So you're in for a heavy sit if you want to watch the entire thing. Well,
I would have to imagine that producers are scrambling to try and incorporate Gene Hackman into the performance and show on Sunday night. I would have to imagine they're working quickly to try and honor him the way he deserves to be honored.
Yeah, of course. And you can expect him to show up in the In Memoriam segment, which is always a tearjerker for many, memorializing the actors and people in Hollywood, the figures that we've lost in the year. And Gene Hackman obviously has gotten a lot of attention in the last few days. You can imagine that people are scrambling to incorporate him into the show in some capacity, just giving his stature in Hollywood for, his decades worth of career and really great movies that he's turned in. So, that's going to be something to watch for as well. I also think that, David Lynch, who passed away earlier this year, is going to be a major figure that people memorialize. Like, that's going to be a conversation point given his role in Hollywood and how much of an influence he's had on actors and directors and just movie makers in general. So, that is something to keep an eye on as well as we continue to watch the memorializations come in for that actor. So it's going to be really interesting to see.
ABC's Mike Dubusky. We'll be watching, Mike. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Of course. Take care.
You do the same. 1244 on WTMJ. Coming up next, some stories from off the beaten path. It's stories of the strange.
Save on the best quality furniture and mattresses during the President's Day sale at Ken Michaels Furniture. With major discounts from our premier suppliers, you will save big bucks on top brands like Bradenton Young, made in the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. Bradenton Young is known for its fine quality leather upholstery. Yours brings you modern Scandinavian design recliners and sofas, ergonomically engineered for more hip and back support. Norwalk, with American roots that go back over 100 years, specializes in making furniture just for you. Choose the piece, style, fabric, or leather you want, and in just 35 days, we'll deliver your new sofa, chair, or sectional. In-stock or special orders are all sale priced. Need a little help putting it all together? At Ken Michaels Furniture, our design staff is ready to help you with your purchases. And it's free. Stop in today and save now during the President's Day sale at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Academic Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 255368.
Don't settle for a flimsy bank pre-approval. Get the pre-approval listing agents and sellers recognized as better than the rest. The rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval from AccuNet. Get yours by clicking on the blue button at accunet.com.
At the Milwaukee Auto Show, we have a vehicle for almost everything. Boat hauling, snow skiing, budget saving, and luxury wanting. The Auto Show has the largest selection of vehicles from different manufacturers all in one place. Shopping for your very first car? This is the place to be. The Auto Show is a must-attend for comparative shopping. At the Milwaukee Auto Show, we have a vehicle for almost everything, and we certainly have a vehicle for your thing. Baird Center, February 22nd through March 2nd. Buy tickets online, no added fees. AutoShowMilwaukee.com.
This change has leveled us up while being able to maintain the same quality of service that we've always provided, with no upfront fees and 1.9% real estate commission. We're proud to be part of the Century 21 family, so you can move fearlessly with the added confidence of top-of-the-line marketing for maximum home exposure. And that means more eyeballs and the real potential for the highest price for your home. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. First off, our 1.9% commission structure helps get their foot in the door, and that's why agents like working here. But what they really like is having the strongest marketing tools available, with the resources to help them sell homes at the highest prices to satisfy their clients. Century 21 Benefit Realty offers what agents like most, and that's to help them be successful. If you really want to believe in the business model that you're representing, give me a call. I'm Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty. Call me, and let's talk about your future. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Ready to upgrade your home's exterior? Family owned and operated since 1983, J&J Contractors specializes in top quality windows, doors, and siding that enhance your home while increasing its value and energy efficiency. From modern vinyl siding to stylish fiberglass doors, and from double hung windows to sliding glass doors, they have the perfect solutions for your home. Contact them today for a free consultation. Just search online J&J Contractors or call 414-423-9200. J&J Contractors. Welcome home.
Wind advisory in effect until 6 o'clock tonight. It's going to be mild with a high of 53, but windy with gusts up to 45 miles an hour. Overnight low of 17. It's really going to drop off later this afternoon and evening. Tomorrow's high 30 degrees. Sunday's high 36, 42 and cloudy. On Monday, it's 53, mostly sunny in Milwaukee at 12:48.
It's Friday, which means it's time for Stories of the Strange on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Some stories from off the beaten path that aren't exactly going to make headline news, but more accurately appear on the back page of something, some sort of publication.
I think it's a good way to describe stories of the strange, so let's get right to it. First, we head to Durban, South Africa.
Hello.
That's where we find the South African Open happening on the golf course at Durban Country Club this week. And a guy named Dale Whitnall, 36 years old, an Englishman, he's going to owe a lot of people a lot of drinks, Greg. And that's because the man has hit not one, but 2 hole-in-ones during the same event, the South African Open.
Okay.
Capturing the second of the 2 of those shots. And yeah, pretty special to hit 1, let alone 2.
Yeah, I've never had one in tournament play. I had one in Paris National a few years ago in practice round, but these are my first ones in hole-in-one, and to have 2 in one day is pretty special. So Greg, you're an avid golfer. Have you ever hit a single ace?
I did. I was 13 years old. I was playing with my dad, who had never hit a hole-in-one at that time, and it was at Muskego Lakes, and it was about a 145-yard hole. And the pin was sort of on the backside of a hill, so I couldn't see it go in. Mm-hmm. We were just looking for my ball as we approached the green, couldn't find it, and my dad wandered by the hole and said, "Here it is. I hope you brought your wallet." And I said, "Why?" He's like, "You're buying drinks inside." It turns out my dad was able to buy drinks for people in the clubhouse.
So I have one also. My excuse for not buying drinks was I was 16, and it was a WIAA meet at South Hills Country Club in Fond du Lac. Hole number 7 hit the right side of the green. There's a little slope that rolls down, and so I watched it just trickle, 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 and then suddenly disappear, basically in line with where the pin was, and you put 2 and 2 together. It's pretty crazy feeling to do 1, but 2 in the same round. By the way, shot 63, 9 under for the 72-hole par course. By the way, odds of making just 1, 12,000 to 1, so that's not great already. Odds of making 2 hole-in-ones during the same round, 67 million to 1.
Yeah, you're more likely to get hit by lightning, aren't you?
Probably twice.
That's incredible. Let's go to Japan, shall we?
All right.
I have never been to Japan, but something tells me that a stroll around a beautiful park would be very lush, would be very beautiful in Japan. I could picture that, right? Well, if you want to stroll around the park in Japan, maybe you're headed there this weekend, you might want to be a little nimble on your toes if you're going to head to this park. It is small. In fact, those who live in this town commonly refer to it as the smallest park in the world. It was built in 1988. Now, there is no official recognition. They're trying to get this thing qualified for the Guinness site, and they've actually got a surveyor who's going to be heading out to the park to designate it. Maybe it'll achieve a Guinness Book of World Records. How big is this small park, you might ask? Well, it measures just 2.6 square feet. That's about 4 sheets of paper.
I was going to say, can you fit one of us in that space?
That's the park. There is a picture of a lady sitting on a concrete block, which I guess is the only park bench in this park. It's about 12 bricks that are lined with a little seating area with a concrete block. You can put your feet down. There's a small bonsai tree to the right of the seating area. Looks to be some sort of flower arrangement and a small water feature.
Oh, how nice. How lovely.
It's a very small park.
I know we have Kazube's Park over here in Milwaukee, which is basically just a couple cups of coffee long and wide, but that's even more impressively small.
About the size of 4 pieces of paper. 12:52 on WTMJ. We'll wrap up the program with some final thoughts after this.
When we're out in your town, come say hi to us as we broadcast live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
Anytime you hear us when we're out on the road, you can find us live from our brand new mobile studio.
Whether it be Summerfest, EAA, Opening Day, Air and Water Show, wherever we may be, you can see us on the radio, live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
WTMJ.
Hey, boaters!
Some call them oddball parts, but we call them a huge part of our inventory. Dave Doro here from Kendor Marine. With thousands of boat parts and supplies stacked right here in our store, you won't have to look elsewhere. If you need it, chances are we got it, along with expert advice to get your job done right. Hey, boaters in the know exactly where to go. Kendor Marine, 57th and Ryan Road in Franklin.
Hey, boaters! Cruise to Kendor Marine. We've got everything you need but the water.
KendorMarine.com.
Hey, boaters!
It's a boater's do-it-yourselfer's dream store. Kendor Marine stocks thousands of boat parts and supplies. Just about everything you'd ever need to keep your boat up and running. Whether it's common or something you think might be discontinued, you can bet on us having it. So don't be surprised when we have just what you need. I'm Dave Doro, and boaters in the know exactly where to go. Kendor Marine, 57th and Ryan Road in Franklin.
Hey, boaters! Cruise to Kendor Marine. We've got everything you need but the water.
KendorMarine.com.
Blaine's Farm and Fleet Spring Workwear event is going on now, and we have a great selection of quality workwear styles at unbeatable prices. Like 30% off men's work and sport pocket tees, $10.49 each. Save $10 on Ariat Rebar Made Tough work pants. New at Blaine's, men's brunch workwear apparel, 25% off. Plus, earn $30 in Carhartt bucks for every $125 spent on Carhartt gear. We've got the value you need to do things your way. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Being original.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
We're wrapping up Wisconsin's Midday News for a Friday. Greg and Adam with you. We will be back again on Monday. Jessica returns on Tuesday. Gina does a great job posting segments of our show online. You'll want to subscribe to the Wisconsin's Midday News podcast built by Siding Unlimited. Text the word Midday to our talk and text line. Text the word Midday to 855-616-1620, and we'll get you all the information sent back to your mobile device. Wherever you get your podcasts, you can find Wisconsin's Midday News. How about this? They are getting ready for another major event in New Orleans. It feels like there's always a party in New Orleans. So the Royal Sonesta, it kicked off the annual Greasing of the Poles with the 2025 theme, Grease Ya Later, Alligator. It is considered to be the French Quarter's official kickoff to Mardi Gras weekend, the 2025 carnival season. You got this weeks-long pre-Lenten bash, colorful parades, shimmery beads tossed from floats and on the streets. It is really a scene as we approach Fat Tuesday on Tuesday of next week.
This really came up quickly. I'm shocked that we're almost into, following then Ash Wednesday and Lent. But yeah, you got to get through Mardi Gras first. Somehow.
Well, Easter is much earlier this year than it was last year, too. Mm-hmm. That kind of weighs into the timing of everything. I, for one, would appreciate if Easter had a more consistent sort of time of year. 100%. It is a moving target year after year, and I always kind of fall shy of knowing when it is going to be. Very late last year, much earlier this year. But on the heels of the Super Bowl in New Orleans, another massive event about to get underway. I have been to Mardi Gras. it's a little bit much. I mean, like a standard weekend in New Orleans can be a little bit much.
Exactly.
Mardi Gras is a little over the top. That was in a previous life. It was a work experience. In fact, I had to make 2 trips to Mardi Gras in the same run of Mardi Gras. I was not as pleased to go the second time, if I'm being candid. Even that was a bit much for me.
See, we got enough for you right here, though, because we got the Punchkis that come out on Fat Tuesday, which is more than enough excitement for me on a Tuesday.
We will have a representative from National Bakery on with us on Monday, not just to get free Punchkis delivered to the station, but I'm very curious how they're handling the rising cost of eggs. I mean, you're talking about scratch bakeries, not only here in Wisconsin, but around the country, and some of these are mom-and-pop shops that are paying more, quite a bit more for eggs, which means the potential to raise costs to the consumer exists, but I know many want to hold back from that.
And 100%. This is basically, to allude to New Orleans, these bakeries' Super Bowl for many of them. This is the big day, one of the only days you'll have lines out the door no matter where you're at.
Yeah, 12:57 on WTMJ. We are out of time. News is coming up next. Spanning the state and Wisconsin's afternoon news are live from the Auto Show. So they will bring you all the sight, sound, and flavor of the Auto Show happening at the Baird Center this week and weekend.
Are you sick of not being your bank's top priority? We are too. At Wintrust, we take a different approach to banking. We're proud to be your one true banking partner focused on your unique financial goals. That's right in your backyard. Whether you're opening your first account, buying a home, planning for the future, or starting a business, we have tailored solutions to get you there. Stop settling and start experiencing a better way to bank at Wintrust.com. Wintrust, different approach,